Well, thank you for having me here. It's going to be amazing. And I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you are definitely, truly, one of the best groups that I'm going to talk to this week.
Today. This night.
I'm curious, though, that what happens with us when we buy things? What happens with us when we buy things? And there was a gentleman whose name is Rob Walker in 2008. He wanted to see that why do you buy things that we're not supposed to buy? So he bought on eBay this horse's head. It costed approximately $1.29. It's fine. It's nice, right? I would have that at home. So he got that, and when he got that object home to his place, he figured that, okay, I wonder what happens if I place a story to this horse's head. So he reached out to an author and said, hey, can you do me a favor? And the author goes, yes, of course, what do you want? Well, I have this horse's head. Can you write a story about it? And the author goes, you're poco loco, but okay, I will do this. You're a little bit of crazy, huh? So he starts writing the story about this horse's head, that it had traveled around the world. It had been all the way up in the Eiffel Tower. It had been forgotten at the Louvre by the Mona Lisa. And also, it had been having a party weekend on the Great Wall of China. Me too. You too? Did somebody write a story about you as well? So he gets back this story. And then he pastes it back online with that story on eBay. 7 days later, that same horse's head that he bought for $1.29 now sold for $62.95. For the one who can do really quick math, it's increased by 6,258 percentages. Why is that? How is it that we can get so mesmerized by a story? What Rob did, he not only bought one horse's head, he bought 199 other objects on eBay for a total amount of $129. He reached out to 199 other authors and asked them to write a story about every single object, got it back, turned it back on eBay, and then made a profit of $8,000. $8,000. $1,000. $8,000. I know what you're thinking. You're going to go home, go on eBay, and start writing stories. You want to make more money. So once again, why are we subjected? Why is this part of you just looking over all reasonable doubt of what you're not supposed to buy and still buy it? That is the big question. How many of you have ever been to the movies? Hands up. Movies? Cinema? Yeah. Watch a movie? Watching a movie? Yeah. How many have ever seen this gentleman? James Bond. So, we've been to cinema, we've been watching James Bond, we walk out of the cinema, and what do we feel? And it's not only James Bond, it is all about all superheroes that we have. It can be Tomb Raider, it can be Marvel, it can be some of the cool heroes, right? So we walk out of that cinema. And if you take this for example, when I walk out of that cinema, I walk more like James Bond. I talk more like James Bond as well. My name is Sean Connery, yes. Because I have a sensation up here that I want to be James Bond. License to thrill. It is, isn't it? Yeah, I know, thank you. I like having you here. It's like somebody to talk to for the entire duration. It's lovely. Don't stop. So, The thing is that we watch a James Bond movie, we want to feel like James Bond, we want to feel like Lara Croft. The next day, we're out in our own town, walking around on a street. For some reason, after 15 minutes, we find ourselves in a shop who sells watches, right? And then after another 5 minutes, we find ourselves looking at a watch, an Omega watch, that James Bond is having on, the same thing in the movie you saw yesterday. And you look at it and go, huh, that's a cool watch. That's a James Bond watch. 15 minutes after that, you walk out of that store with the James Bond watch on your wrist for $10,000. Why is that? Well, that's why we're here, and that's why I am here. I'm going to give you an insight of what you can do to other people by telling a good story. And also to give you an idea that when you sell things online, if you have anything that is connected to a movie memorabilia, something that is connected to a movie, today humanity spends $11.5 billion every single year on things that are connected to movies. So if you have a shirt on, well, you might have been subjected to a movie star because that person is having the same shirt on. Would you like to have those traits? Would you like to have that knowledge of how to tell a good story? Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I don't know, maybe. And it's with that, I want to welcome you to another 48 minutes of the magical science of storytelling. You thrive every single day to get more dopamine. The reason why you sit here in Stockholm, in urban Delhi, in this place right now, is because of this one right here. You woke up this morning and opened your eyes, go, wow, because of dopamine. And tomorrow when you wake up, go, ah, once again, dopamine. What happens with you as a human being when you inject dopamine in your bloodstream? Well, these are the features. You get more focused, you get more motivation, you increase your creativity by, I don't know even how many percentages, depends on how good you are, of course. But the best thing is that today, if we can increase dopamine in meetings, people will remember more of what you're talking about. And I can see now you go, duh. Why haven't we done this before? Well, I don't know. You want to feel how dopamine what dopamine feels like?
Oh, yes.
You go there. There we go. Somebody back here is like, yes, I want to know. What is this guy all about? All right, so. If there's something I love more than life itself, is water. Not to drink, but to scuba dive in and snorkel. So a couple of months back, I was in Costa Rica. Beautiful place. And a lot of people say, hey, it's good water for snorkeling and diving. I listened to them, so I went on a trip. I am one of those people in life that always jumps in first and is always the last person to get out. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's a ride, but this time it was on a boat trip. So we traveled far out into the ocean, and there was 2 big islands. And we were going to snorkel around these islands. So we did that. We got 40 minutes. So I jumped in. I had my gear on. It was amazing. I saw pufferfish, and there was parrotfish. It was just nice. So I was swimming around, and I can tell you this, 40 minutes goes by real fast. So after 40 minutes, I was heading back to the boat, who was anchored just outside of the island. And it was one of those days when it was really choppy. It was big waves, and there was a current as well that pulled us. So we had our flippers on, we had our mask and our snorkel. So I was just heading to the boat. I was just about to grab the ladder to get on the boat, when I see a woman point out in the middle of the ocean, and she screams, she's going down. I instinctively reacted to that. Because I knew something was very, very wrong. I still had my gear on. I was the only human being back in the water, or still in the water. Everybody else have left the water and they were up on the boat. So I turned around and I see, of course, a hand reaching out from the water. The woman who was screaming jumped in, started swimming. She had no gear on. It was a current and it was a lot of waves. So she starts swimming, and now I understand I will beat her to that person. So put my mask on and started swimming, and I've never swam that fast in my entire life. I see a person's hand get smaller and smaller and smaller. And just when I arrive and just about to reach out and grab her, so how do you do this? How do you make dopamine in somebody else? Well, you make sure that you tell a story with some suspense, some anticipation, and also one of the best features you can use is, of course, cliffhanger. What you just experienced now is a cliffhanger. I tell you one thing, hey-do, goodbye, and then I keep on going. Next one. Serotonin. We need to ease back up the hormone level so it's fun, because now I can see your all sad face. Alex, you made me cry. Does anybody know what serotonin is? No, that's good. Because you're also dependent on serotonin. So serotonin makes you, as a human being, you become more accepting, kind, and you. This is the one where I really. Increase the self-esteem. How many of you will regard yourself as leaders? Hands up. Okay, good. That was fun. So you don't have a pack of people that you lead? Like friends that you lead and say, hey, we're going to this club. There we go, you're leaders. Let me... I was onto something before when I started this talk, and said I was truly grateful that you're here and that you chose me. You have no idea how many people there is out in the world that does the same thing. No, I'm unique. But does things like I do. But I so appreciate that you really wanted me to come here. Well, you didn't know, but you guys. Because I want to tell you this, you are the reason why I wake up in the morning, you are the reason why I travel around the world, and why I have a mission in life to make sure that we start talking to each other in a better way. When I was younger, I was bullied since, 10 years old, because I was the first kid who got glasses in school. I remember this as it was yesterday. I sit at the bench, and I had my purple and pink backpack. I know, it sounds cool, but it was super cool. I was a very colorful guy when I was younger, boy. So I had this purple and pink bag, and the day before I had picked up my glasses, and my mom was so kind. She was the best woman ever, because she let me choose what kind of glasses I wanted. And I chose the ones that were green, like slime green with red details. I was so proud. When I got to, when I fell asleep that night. The next morning, I was proud because I was going to show my friends. So I took out my case, my glass case, and I put it on my table. And I chose that one with real carefulness as well, because there was 3 snowboarders. One who had a broken arm, one who had a broken leg, and one who had a broken head. That was so cool. It was like the coolest thing. And one of my classmates, first thing, he comes up, he picks it up and says, what is this stupid thing? That was the first day for 10 years of systematically being bullied because I had glasses. And then I became a chubby guy. And I gained weight. So you are the reason, because you give me energy every single day to spread the word, and we need to start communicating more kindly and more humane towards each other. And also kids can be assholes. We can all agree on that. So thank you. I'm going to give you a round of applause. This is normally when people pick up that and they go, oh yeah! We're so good. You know, what should you do? Well, you should do this. You make a story that somebody feels proudness over, being a part of. You make sure that it includes happiness, some success. But if you increase the social status in somebody else, you create serotonin. And I'm going to give you a secret here. You, all of you, follow the person who either gives away the most serotonin or has the most serotonin in their bloodstream by default. And that means that if you go and say, hey, nice job, you look great tonight.
Thank you.
There we go. Now, if I would say, hey, let's go jump off that cliff, you would go, I follow him, right there. But we need to start telling people that they're doing a good job. We need to start telling people that, be a part of this. Don't exclude, include. Just made that up. Yeah, it's proud. It's hashtagged. Yeah. So when you enter your stage and when you feel that nervousness, because people look at you and react the way you do. They did a study where they shaved off the eyebrows of people. Hey, they survived. It's eyebrows, it's not their head. Eyebrows. So they shaved off their eyebrows on the humans, and then they asked somebody else, and they asked the person who didn't have any eyebrows to go, hey, smile! And then they asked the other one, hey, what kind of expression was that? And they had no idea. So we look at somebody else, and we like what we see, then we mimic. We reproduce what they are doing. So if you use your real face and saying, this has been great, then you go, ooh, nice. So you need to start using your facial structure more than you're doing today. The second thing that we need to amplify and really increase is this. Not, I got forehead. We need to start using our nonverbal communication. Whoever created us gave us, the majority of, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a body. Why is it that, why are we doing this? That when we either tell a good story or have a presentation, why is it that we always do this with our body? Hi. Well, today, I'm just, I'm going to talk about something real fun. So we stand and caress ourselves. I even see people stand for this for 45 minutes. Yeah, bonjour, parapluie, ça va bien. Et tout? Yeah, I'd be speaking French and Spanish at the same time. How natural is this? Do you go up to your friends and family and go yeah, I'm going to stand like this when I talk for you for the next 45 minutes. It's going to be great. Or even have the British horse rider. This is one of my most favorite. We did a study on 5,000 people, and approximately 2.5% of those people, they were doing the English horse rider. It's kind of when we squeeze your nipples like this, and they were standing like this. So yes, today we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be so much fun, and I'm riding my horse. It's going really fast. Hey ho, Silver, let's go. There are several others. We got the forklift, we got the bunny, we got the Angela Merkel. Ja, alles gut. We got hands in my pocket because I was trying to find the solution in my pocket. We got the Adam and Eve position when you place your hands in front of your genitals. And little did you know that you have triggers up here that controls your body, which leads to that when you do this Adam and Eve position, you start tending to scratch your genitals as well. And the scary thing here is that people do look at my scrotum right now. So you need to start using your nonverbal communication the way that you're supposed to. So I'm going to give you something that is called functional gestures. And you might wonder, what is functional gestures? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you that you're so driven by people, what they show you. Okay? So let's see if you follow this. Ladies and gentlemen, in this room. It's been great to stand in front of you today. It's going to be so fun listening to your stories develop and how you're going to increase in your presentation skill and how you're going to reach new heights that you never reached before. Your next presentation is going to be great to watch. It's going to be great to hear, and people will feel really excited listening to you. The enthusiasm you have shown in this room has been fantastic, and you just really love me as a human being. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks.